I am Eric Parker, and I am the cab maid. Grew up in Decatur, Georgia, started off at Rainbow Elementary in DeKalb, then I went to Smoke Rise Elementary, and then matriculated up to Tucker High School, currently the principal at Tucker High School.
Anti-Afro Svengalis reintroducing Dr. Eric Parker, principal at Tucker High School. Let's give him another round of applause for being decisive about taking that knife or those scissors and cutting that rope between Carrie Ann and Tucker High School. Carrie Ann had no business working at Tucker High School or being a teacher, period, because she doesn't meet the standard. Doesn't meet the standard for the high school, doesn't meet the standard for the state. He got her out of there. But whenever I hear someone like Dr. Parker talking, it's important to recognize the challenges as well as the successes, and that is what he does. Whatever happened, it's obvious he didn't allow anybody to pull him out of his element. He continued on, achieved a doctorate degree, while Carrie Ann lied about having a master's degree. He made it. He was not going to tolerate the crap that Carrie Ann was doing. He made damn sure Carrie Ann was a goner, and we have to applaud him for that. Check out the feature below the title. Now, there's something else that comes to mind when I heard Dr. Parker talking, and then when I look around and see certain things that are happening. It is always very clear. Those who are confident about themselves, who are self-assured in the goals that they have set out, in their progression to achieve their goals, don't have any problem doing just what you're going to see here in a few minutes. Taking that knife, taking those scissors, and cutting that rope. Yes, this comes from the That's right, lizards crawling up any vine they can find, trying to siphon your soul. Doesn't work. If you set yourself on a path and you're determined, you can't have lizards crawling up your vine trying to tether to you. Take those scissors, take that knife, and cut that rope. It is very easy to do. When you stay on track, stay determined, you won't destroy your personal life, you won't destroy your professional life, like Carrie Ann did, like Dumpsy D. Durrell did, like DJ Jackass Antonio Johnson did, like Umar Johnson did, like Valentine Lewis did, defrauding charlatans or defrauding stalkertons did. I can name others, multiple subjects in and around the Umar Johnson sector who thought they can destroy other people's lives and careers, and it boomeranged right square between their eyes. When they attempted to try that on others, there was nothing there because we didn't make any decisions that was going to destroy our personal, professional lives. It doesn't matter what anyone says. It doesn't matter what lies are conjured up. It is obvious to see who destroyed their personal and professional lives. But I want to say this. Don't make a mistake about it happened, quote, because of YouTube. Those traits in these subjects were pre-existing. They ruined their life based on decisions that they made long ago, ending up in prison, and even worse, being non-reformed, thinking they have a right to have whatever they did that was against the law simply forgotten about. Oh, we know about that here in these YouTube streets, folks. We're also looking at the Menendez case. You made the decisions that destroyed your life. It is not anyone else's problem but yours. So take that knife and take those scissors, cut that rope. Don't allow the lizards to crawl up your vine. Here's the other thing I want to tell you. This is very noticeable, especially with Carrie Ann running around to all of these different platforms in desperation, trying so hard to land and be relevant, and hysterically every 5 seconds he's mentioning the AFW or anyone who's associated with AFW. Can't get it out of her head, can't get it out of her brain, to the point where she destroyed her own career and destroyed her own life. So what does she do? She wants to look at everyone else and what they're doing and scrutinize their life, scrutinize their career, and starts to think she's in a position to speak down, although she got fired. Had her ass on TV, destroyed her career in front of the whole damn world, and is angry. And it isn't over yet, folks. The state still has to weigh in. But she ruined her career, so now she's hyper focused on everybody else and what they do for a living because she destroyed hers. Then that doesn't work. She doesn't get the reaction she wants, so she starts talking about people's bodies. And I got to make sure it's clear, Carrie Ann weighs more than the smoke. She's so angry that she doesn't have the ammunition that she puts a photo on her page that's not even representative of the smoke. It's nowhere near being representative of the smoke. The photo here is representative more closely to Carrie Ann. We know that Carrie Ann pulled a "let me see your handcuffs" and flipped her camera and showed the disability placard. Right, yeah. So she wouldn't be walking around mowing a lawn, getting any exercise. She would be sitting down. So this picture more closely relates and resembles Carrie Ann. Carrie Ann's trying to whip up some hysteria over smoke and marijuana. Well, marijuana is legal in the state where Smoke lives. And he has a job. He's working. There's no problem with his job interference. Carrie, on the other hand, is on dangerous opioids. You know how many people die using opioids? Specifically because they don't take them according to the doctor's instructions. That is a dangerous, deadly drug. And Carrie Ann has come on these YouTube streets slurring her speech all over the place. And then she's a chain smoker. In several of these clips that come over, the clip isn't even that long. Here you have the cigarette lighter. Nicotine is also deadly. I haven't heard of anyone dying over marijuana. Now, some people, depending on who they are, can have lung issues associated with marijuana. But it just depends on the person. Nicotine, for sure, is a killer. And Carrie Ann has COPD. She has a lung disease. Not giving a damn. She made it very clear. She smokes marijuana. So if she's one of those, a sensitivity to marijuana, then she's further exacerbating. Carrie Ann said right here in these YouTube streets, and we have it, that she has a pound of marijuana. That's illegal. That's a serious felony. Marijuana is not even legal in Georgia, where Carrie lives. So if you get caught with, I believe the standard is less than 1 ounce, which is considered personal consumption standard, that's a misdemeanor. 1 pound, that's a serious felony. And Carrie Ann is on these YouTube streets admitting to a felony. In addition to that, she is an illegal drug user and placing herself at risk for an ATF raid because she claims to have a firearm. So she got that firearm under false pretenses, says she does not use dangerous or illegal drugs, and she does. So she's up here trying to raise some false hysteria over smoke and him with marijuana when she has all these risk factors. She smokes marijuana, which is illegal. She takes opioids by her own admission. She came on and said it, and she has slurred speech. And she's a chain smoker. Who's in worse shape? Yes, people, do the math. Carrie Ann's just pissed, throwing temper tantrums because nobody will listen to her. She tries to gain control over every situation while existing in an out-of-control state, trying to gain control of everyone, thinking what she says actually means something. It's nonsensical. She needs to look in the mirror and recognize the person who seems to have the most serious health risk, the most serious problem, the illegal drug user, Carrie Ann. Carrie Ann weighs more than the smoke, and quite possibly she might weigh more than the smoke and his wife put together. It's a close call. So let me explain this. Who between Carrie Ann and the smoke has shown more skin? Now I'm going on the skin route because this is what Carrie Ann was talking about. She's talking about sagging skin and flabby skin and all this loose skin. Who has cammed up from head to waist? Skin showing. Now you can cam up if you're a woman from head to waist. And you could be wearing a tank top or you can be wearing a sports bra so people can see what you're dealing with. Guess who cammed up head to waist, completely bare? It was not Carrie Ann, it was the Smoke. Smoke used to go into jacuzzi when he was doing the live stream. He did it, I think, 3 times. When he did it the first time, he had the shirt off. You could see his arms, you could see his stomach, you could see, where's the loose skin? Is there loose skin on Smoke's neck? Black folks are keloid. You're going to be seeing any sort of surgical scars if he had loose skin. So Smoke is cammed up in the skin and Carrie Ann has not. She cams up in a burqa. You can see the cottage cheese through the butt pad. That's Carrie Ann. And she's up here talking about other people's bodies because we know that she feels insecure. But let me go back to Smoke for a second, because when Smoke cammed up the first time, no problem, he's in the jacuzzi. Then the second and third time, he goes to the jacuzzi, and now you have who? These dudes saying, Smoke, when are you going to take your shirt off? The women didn't get a chance to ask him. The dudes, when are you going to take your shirt off? He said, I'm not going to do that anymore. Why are you dudes asking me to take off my shirt? He said, I'm going to get in the jacuzzi, and I'm not going to take my shirt off anymore. No loose skin. Now let's do some medical discussion. Smoke was an athlete most of his life, like his younger days going into college. He was an athlete. When you're an athlete and you have muscle mass, it's less likely you're going to have saggy skin. People who have saggy skin are people who've been fat their whole lives, like Carrie Ann. If she ever went on to one of those weight loss programs that she's ragging on Smoke about, she would have saggy skin because she's been fat all her entire life. Smoke was an athlete, so you're not going to have that sagging skin that people see on the internet, what they have to go and get actual surgery. That is not going to happen. Carrie Ann, when are you going to start going on a program? She was up there complaining about she was eating junk food. You weigh more than the Smoke. You got no room to talk. At least if you put a picture up about somebody, make it close in proximity to who they are. She's angry, so she had to put a picture on the screen of someone, a guy, a fat guy on a lawnmower that doesn't even look anything like Smoke. You weigh more than Smoke, and quite possibly you weigh more than Smoke and his wife put together. It's a close call. So cam up from head to waist. And before they go and start saying you cam up, I never said I was going to cam up. Who was the one who kept bringing up camming up? There was Carrie Ann. She stated she was scared because she thought, I don't remember who was going to expose her picture first. I think it was Photon. Or someone else, she went on their channel, and I think they got her picture until she was scared. Well, that's your problem. If you're so chicken and scared that someone's going to show a picture and you decide to cam up, that's your business. People who make decisions about how they're going to move in certain spaces and they stick to their decisions are the ones who come out on top. I already said it from the start. I am going to keep a separation between professional and what I do on YouTube. Carrie Ann failed to do that, and look what happened. She ruined her career and got fired. Antonio Johnson didn't do that. He looked up people's information illegally, committing a felony, wasn't able to keep the separation, got fired, and got certifications revoked. Dumpsy D. Durrell, what did he do? He needed to flex with cash he didn't have, so he stole money from the government, has been raided by the FBI, 2 officers in his home. He ruined his career. This went on for years that he was stealing. He lost contracts, multiple contracts. I haven't lost a single contract. He ruined his personal life. He decided to stay married to a child abuser who he allowed to work in his office, which is illegal, ruining their careers. You have this defrauding Crapperton, Stalkertons, ruined his military career. You squandered your opportunities because you thought you were cute and fancy and hot and getting all this attention by stalking Rev G for 2 freaking years. Listen to all these decisions, people. All these decisions they're being made are being made by who? They are making the poor decisions. Nobody can force you into making a poor decision. You are on your own. No one is going to force me to do anything I don't want to do. It's just not going to happen. Don't tether yourself. Don't allow any losers to tether to you. I don't give a damn what anybody says about me or what they claim. I have to give it steam. I have to give it legs. I have to give it smoke in order for it to continue. And I'm simply going to ignore it. I'm very good at ignoring things that are relevant in my mind. Just because subjects think things are relevant in their mind doesn't make it relevant in my mind. Running around to all these different platforms, constantly bringing up my name and anyone that I'm associated with over and over and over again. I think that's called obsession. And when they don't get any attention or enough attention, they want to do what? Follow us to where we are. Stalkers. You're stalking ass freaks. And so many of them have ruined their own lives. They're mad because we didn't follow them over the edge. They've ruined their own lives because of their criminal behavior, their non-reformed disposition, and they are angry they didn't achieve financially. If you didn't achieve financially because you have a criminal record, oh well, that's your issue. You made those decisions. Can't make an honest living, making a decent wage because you screwed your life up. You screwed your life up. You screwed your life up. That's your issue. It's none of my issue, none of anyone else's issue that I know. Trying to make work a dirty word. Carrie's angry because she is the one who ruined her career. She's obsessed over the fact that she ruined her own career and wants to downgrade any and everything other people do if it's an honest living. Well, she had a quote, honest living, and squandered that by being incredibly abusive, got on the freaking news. I don't care what Carrie Ann says. You can't beat that. Carrie Ann has beaten Smoke in the pounds category, but Smoke has beat Carrie in the media category because Smoke has been on the news before. Smoke has had articles written about him. None of them have to do with attacking anybody, protected class groups, and making vulgar race-attacking comments and lying on people and slandering people. None of that. Carrie Ann exclusively stands alone, and Dumpsy will be soon. That's coming. Just hang on for that. Carrie Ann is the one who destroyed her own career and is very angry. Also want to say, she knows she feels unstable, so she keeps labeling other people with these mental health terms, and the state will have something to say about that. We will see what the state has to say about Carrie Ann running around here thinking she can diagnose people with mental health disorders when she has a raggedy ass teaching credential that's hanging on by the skin of the chinny chin chin. We will see all about it. But take that pair of scissors, take that knife, and cut that rope to the losers that think they'll be able to tether to you because they have nothing for themselves that they can put forth. They have to tether. Losers have to tether. Winners don't need to tether to anyone. Winners can rock and roll on their own. They can collaborate. They can be by themselves. They can move any way they choose. It's no necessary element for them to tether. They can benefit from tethering, but it's not a necessity. It's just as easy for winners to work on their own. Not for the losers. The losers absolutely need to tether to other losers to make themselves feel that they have a purpose or to leech off of winners. Take the knife, take the pair of scissors, and cut the rope. Cut the tether from the losers, the lizards climbing up the vine. Folks, you know I got more coming your way. In the meantime, you know the drill. Buyer beware.